Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and pleasure as a Minister of Finance to be able to participate to this first blockchain week here in Luxembourg. Let me start by congratulating the Blockchain Lab and Emilie Allard of the Luxembourg House of Financial Technologies for organizing this event. You could say that blockchain is a hammer looking for a nail. What do I mean by that? And that is that this technology is about to revolutionize a lot in the economy, the whole being based obviously on IT, and the potential of transformation that this can bring about is obviously enormous. It reminds me of what was said in the past about chips, electronic chips. They become always smaller, faster, and more efficient. And that's exactly what the blockchain technology or digital ledger technology brings about. We know that it's in the field of finance that this technology has thrived and has worked out best, but we know that it has a potential to be used in many other areas. But being a finance minister and being in the midst of diversifying our financial center and preparing it for the future, I'm obviously very keen to look into the potential for financial services. One can say that this time of pandemic and economic downturn that has followed has really boosted the interest and the potential of digital and of blockchain. We can see this in everyday life because what we need is traceability, certification, and trust. And we know that through digital ledger technology, we can achieve that. It's therefore not surprising that governments all around the planet are working to see what legal framework should be established in this context. Crypto assets are becoming more and more common and also need to find some kind of regulation. We have seen that China, and especially the People's Bank of China, has worked on it before the others and is about to launch this year a digital currency that is guaranteed by the Chinese central bank. The same thinking and reflections are underway at the European Central Bank. The European Union itself has also drafted a proposal to regulate crypto assets. In the same vein, the Luxembourg government has been spearheading this in many ways. We have, with two pieces of legislation, made sure that issuing or marketing bonds through digital ledger technology can be considered equal to doing it through a traditional way. I have wasted no time in my career as a minister since 8 years to push financial technology and distributed ledger technology to diversify our financial center. 4 years ago, we set up the Luxembourg House of Financial Technologies that saw more than 70 companies go through its premises and continues to attract many players. Out of these, 20% are in the field of distributed ledger technology. We will continue in that direction. But obviously what is key is private initiatives. Let me underline the success of the Luxembourg Green Exchange, which was also founded only a couple of years ago, and today lists more than half of the world's green and sustainable bonds. What a success story. On the other hand, you have to see that also in the investment fund industry, where Luxembourg is number 2 in the world after the United States, we've been extremely successful in encouraging players and investors to go for sustainable assets. 20% of ESG assets that exist worldwide are domiciled in Luxembourg. Now, digitalization on one hand, which has been boosted through the pandemic, distributed ledger technology on the other hand, have really been boosted after the pandemic. And that has been also quite useful to encourage more dynamism in the field of sustainable finance. I think the two topics of digitalization, distributed ledger technology on the one hand, and sustainable finance have to work and are working hand in hand. It's the other priority for me to diversify our financial center. This is not a nice to have, this is a must. So what we have done in that area is the following. We have, back in September last year, set up a sustainability framework for bonds, which is unique in the world. It is the most modern framework that entails the latest developments of the European Union, so-called taxonomy, as well as the International Capital Markets Association principle, and obviously takes due respect to the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 that I'm wearing on this pin on an everyday basis, because I really think this is key for our planet. And this interaction between digital distributed ledger technology and sustainable finance will continue to guide us in the future. I will conclude by highlighting that a couple of weeks ago, together with the Minister of the Environment of Luxembourg, Carole Dieschbusch, we have launched the Luxembourg Sustainable Finance Initiative, which is implementing the roadmap that we have worked out together with the United Nations. I encourage you all to look into that initiative, because the key for the success in this area is to have all stakeholders work together. In the same way as you are working together here in this blockchain week. Let me wish you all success, encourage all of you to cooperate with each other from A to Z, meaning from the analog community to the distributed ledger community.